Hello everyone, myself Subha. Welcome you all to my channel Subha Classes. I am here to discuss with you all the chemistry topics of CBSE Standard 10 students. We say one nation, one globe, so we are all just family members. Let's join together and crack it. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Subha Classes and do feel free to drop the feedback so that I can improve well. Thank you. So let's just begin with the first chapter of chemistry of standard 10 students, that is chemical reactions and equations. Now, before understanding what are chemical reactions and equations, let's just recall the ideas that we have learned in our previous classes, that is, what are chemical changes? By chemical changes, we mean that the changes in which the molecular composition of a substance is completely altered and a new product is formed. The changes in chemical change are irreversible and permanent in nature. Now, in order to understand it well, we can look after some daily basis phenomena that we face each day, such as rusting of iron, burning of wood, the food that we eat get digested in our body, we respire, grapes getting fermented, souring of milk, etc. and etc. Now, in all these above activities, we see, or the phenomena that we see in daily life, we see that the identity and the nature of the initial substance is somewhat changed. Now, we see that when a chemical change takes place, it is accompanied by a chemical reaction. Now, what a chemical reaction is and what makes us realize a chemical reaction has taken place, in order to understand it well, let us perform certain activities.
Reaction of zinc with dilute sulfuric acid. Everything that has mass and volume is called matter. All matter, regardless of state, undergoes physical and chemical changes. A physical change occurs when a substance changes its state but does not change its chemical composition. For example, tearing a paper, melting of cheese, and cutting a piece of wood into smaller pieces are physical changes. A chemical change occurs when a substance changes into something new. For example, formation of a precipitate, evolution of a gas, and corrosion are chemical changes. In this experiment, our aim is to carry out the reaction of zinc with dilute sulfuric acid and classify it as a physical or a chemical change. Materials required: boiling tube, dilute sulfuric acid, NaOH, zinc dust, spatula, and a dropper. Procedure: take a boiling tube and add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid using a dropper and place it in a test tube rack. Then add some zinc dust into the boiling tube using a spatula. In this reaction, zinc reacts with dilute sulfuric acid to form an aqueous solution of zinc sulfate, and hydrogen gas evolves. That is, Zn plus H2SO4 gives you ZnSO4 plus H2. Now, take a red litmus paper and hold it over the mouth of the boiling tube. There is no change in the color of the red litmus paper. Repeat the same step with blue litmus paper. In this case as well, no change is observed. From this, we can infer that hydrogen gas evolved is neither acidic nor basic in nature. We can do two tests to confirm the presence of zinc sulfate solution in this reaction. In the first test, add a few drops of NaOH solution into the boiling tube containing zinc sulfate using a dropper. On adding the NaOH, a white gelatinous precipitate of zinc hydroxide is formed. ZnSO4 plus 2 NaOH gives you ZnOH2 plus Na2SO4. Again, add excess of NaOH into this white precipitate and shake the boiling tube well. We can see that the precipitate dissolves on adding excess NaOH. In the second test, take a clean boiling tube and clamp it in a stand and add a small amount of ferrous sulfide into this boiling tube using a spatula. Close the mouth of the boiling tube with a double-bored cork and insert a thistle funnel and a bent tube into the two different holes in the rubber cork. Then take a boiling tube containing zinc sulfate solution and clamp it in another stand. Now, add a few drops of dilute HCl to the boiling tube containing ferrous sulfide using the thistle funnel. We can see that hydrogen sulfide gas evolves in the boiling tube containing ferrous sulfide. That is, FeS plus 2HCl gives you FeCl2 plus H2S. This hydrogen sulfide gas passes through the bent tube and reacts with zinc sulfate solution to form a white precipitate of zinc sulfide. That is, ZnSO4 plus H2S gives you ZnS plus H2SO4. Precautions. Use the chemicals judiciously. Keep the mouth of the boiling tube away from your face and also from other classmates.
From the above activities that we saw, we can realize a chemical reaction taking place as point number 1. There is generally change in color of the reacting species taking part in the chemical reaction, as in the rusting of iron nails, rust is brown in color whereas the nails are black. Point number 2. There is generally a change in physical state of the substance, such as in the burning of magnesium ribbon, the ash formed is a white powder whereas magnesium is a metal and the reacting air or oxygen is a gas. Point number 3. In some chemical reactions, there might be evolution of a gas, such as hydrogen gas is evolved when granules of zinc react either with dilute hydrochloric acid or with dilute sulfuric acid. Now point number 4. There might be also a change in temperature. How come? It is in this way that the temperature increases in case the change is exothermic in nature, while there is decrease in temperature during endothermic change. Now what do we mean by exothermic? And endothermic? By exothermic, we mean the chemical reactions in which the heat energy is liberated or released. To that chemical reaction, we can say that it is exothermic in nature. Now what do we mean by endothermic change? Endothermic change refers to the chemical reactions in which the heat energy is absorbed. We understood what a chemical reaction is, and we saw that all the chemical changes are accompanied by chemical reactions, and all the chemical equations have been framed to describe the chemical reactions. Now what a chemical equation is, if we define it, we can say that a chemical equation links together the substances that react with the new substances that are formed. So once again, if I repeat, a chemical equation links together the substances that react, which we call as reactants, with the new substances that are formed, which we call as products. Now if we see a generalized example of a chemical equation, we can write it as, if suppose we say A reacts with B to give C and D. Let's suppose here A and B are called as the reactants and C and D are called as the products. Now this is a chemical equation where A and B, some substances react to give new substances by means of chemical changes. If we recall our ideas, what we studied in chemical changes, the identity and the nature of the initial substances are somewhat changed during the process of chemical change to produce new products. And chemical changes are accompanied by chemical reactions, and chemical equations have been framed to describe a chemical reaction. Now if we take a practical example, we can understand it well. As suppose, let's say hydrogen reacts with oxygen to give water. Now we know hydrogen burns itself, oxygen helps in burning, whereas water helps in distinguishing fire. Here we can understand it well that the identity and the nature of the reactants are somewhat changed when new products are formed during a chemical reaction, which we have framed under a chemical equation. So I hope you would have understood it well, that what a chemical reaction is, what a chemical equation is, and what are the chemical changes that takes place which are accompanied by chemical reactions. And by framing a chemical equation, we understand or we can see how a chemical reaction takes place. Now, the chemical equations can be written by means of two methods, namely, first one, word equation, second one, symbol equation. Let's first discuss what are word equations. In a word equation, as the name suggests, the reactant and the product species taking part in a particular chemical equation are written in words. For example, the word equation for the chemical reaction between the magnesium ribbon in the presence of oxygen to give a white powder of magnesium oxide can be written as magnesium plus oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. Similarly, the word equation for the chemical reaction between granulated zinc with hydrochloric acid to give zinc chloride and hydrogen gas can be written as zinc plus hydrochloric acid to give zinc chloride and hydrogen. In general, we can summarize in a word equation, the reactants are written on the left hand side with plus sign between them, and the products are written on the right hand side with plus sign between them. An arrow separates the reactants from the products, and the direction of the arrow always point towards the product. Similarly, if we see what a symbol equation is, now by symbol equation we mean a brief representation of the reactants and the product species taking part in a particular chemical reaction by means of symbols and formulae. Here, the difference between the word and the symbol equation just is all about that in word equation the reactants and the products are written in words, and in terms of symbol equation the reactants and products of the particular chemical reaction are written by means of symbols and formulae. Rest everything holds same. Let's take some example. Let's take same examples such that we can correlate. We were talking about the reaction between the magnesium ribbon in presence of oxygen to give magnesium oxide. In terms of symbol equation, it can be written as magnesium plus oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. Similarly, if we take another example of the granulated zinc reacting with hydrochloric acid to give zinc chloride and hydrogen, can be written as here also we see that the reactants are written on the left hand side with plus sign between them, and the products are written on the right hand side with plus sign between them. An arrow separates the reactants from the products, and the direction of the arrow always heads towards the products. Now we can find what is exactly the difference between the word equation and the symbol equation. Word equation is also referred to as a skeletal equation. It only says us what reacts to give what, only that. It doesn't say how a chemical reaction proceeds or what kind of chemical reaction takes place between what kind of reactants to give what kind of products. Here, for example, here we see 2 atoms of magnesium reacts with 1 molecule of oxygen to give 2 molecules of magnesium oxide. But in case of word equation, it only says, if we write the same equation in word equation, we write in this way: magnesium plus oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. Now if we see the difference, it doesn't say us what reacts, how much quantity or how much volume of the reactant reacts to give what exact quantity of product. It only says what reacts to give what. But in case of symbol equation, it says what quantity or what volume of the reactant reacts to give what quantity or volume of product. It exactly gives the real picture or the real view of the chemical reaction taking place. Whereas in case of word equation, we don't get that kind of real view of a chemical reaction. It only says what reacts to give what. I hope you would have understood now what a word equation is, what a symbol equation is, what is a chemical equation, a chemical reaction, chemical changes, what all we have discussed in our first lecture. Thank you.